We've all got them. Those what-if moments, the decisions we look back on, those forks in the road from our past. Well, today we're going to explore the very specific words English gives us to talk about those exact situations, those lost opportunities.
I mean, it's a totally universal feeling, isn't it? The time you said something and immediately wished you could take it back. Or maybe an opportunity you just didn't grab. You're just sitting there wishing you could hit rewind and do it all differently, especially knowing what you know now.
And what's so fascinating is that the English language actually has a special, powerful tool just for this feeling. It's a structure that lets you perfectly express that sense of a past that could have been.
So to really get how we talk about a past that didn't happen, we've got to start by looking at how we talk about a future that might happen. And it really all boils down to three key words. First one up is could. Now, when we use could to talk about the future, we're just saying something is possible. Like, I could help you tomorrow. It's not a promise, it's not a guarantee, but the possibility, it's there.
Next, let's talk about would. This word, it kind of takes us into our imagination. When you say, I would love to help you, you're picturing it, right? You're talking about a scenario you can imagine, but you're not exactly committing to it just yet. And finally, we have should. This one's a little different. It carries this feeling of what's right or what's best. If you say, I should help you, you're basically saying that you believe it's the correct thing to do in that future situation. So, here's the most important point for now. All three of these words, could, would, and should, they're all looking forward. They open a door to a future that hasn't happened yet, one that's still full of potential.
But what happens when that potential is gone? When the future we were just talking about is now in the past, and that door to the opportunity has slammed shut.
This is where it gets really, really interesting. To take all those words of future possibility and yank them into the past, well, the answer is surprisingly simple. It all comes down to this one little word, have. Yep, that's it. By just adding have after could, would, or should, we completely change their meaning. We basically lock them into the past. Actually, this is so common that you've probably heard this informal phrase, coulda, woulda, shoulda. It's what people say when they're talking about regrets and missed chances. It's really just a short way of saying, yeah, all those things were options, but, well, none of them happened. Okay, so let's put this all together. We're going to look at these pairs side by side, and you'll see exactly how adding that one tiny word changes everything from a future possibility to a lost opportunity. Just look at this contrast here. On the left side, could, would, and should are all pointing to an open future. But as soon as you add have, the meaning completely flips. Could have means that possibility is long gone. Would have means that imagined future, it never happened. And should have, well, that's basically admitting that the right thing to do is now firmly in the past. So this is really the main takeaway. That little word have acts like a time machine. It grabs the verb and sends it back in time, sealing off the possibility and turning it into what we're calling a lost opportunity. So, what does this all mean for you? It means you now have a really powerful tool. You can move beyond just feeling regret and start to express the specifics of your past with so much more clarity. Let's just break it down into three super simple steps. First, you use could, would, and should when you're talking about the future. Easy enough. Second, when that moment is gone, you just add the word have. And third, boom, you can now use could have, would have, and should have to perfectly nail that feeling of a lost opportunity. Understanding this isn't just about good grammar. It's about better communication. It gives you the precise words to talk about some of our most complex feelings about our past and the choices we've made. And that really brings us to a final thought. We've spent all this time learning how to talk about a past that we can't change. So the real question is, knowing this now, how are you going to use the coulds, woulds, and shoulds that you have today to shape the future you actually want?